morning po, attorney. Ito pong participation of 6 lawmakers from the House of Representatives. What will be their, ano pong magiging role nila as observers dito sa second round of talks?
Actually, first, we welcome the coming of the 6 members of Congress because we are thinking that we should involve them even at the start of the process, and we are learning from what had happened in the past. So that's one. Second, we see their participation as vital in some of the items that we will be discussing. First, the more substantive issues of socio-economic reforms and political constitutional reforms. We will be needing Congress because when we talk about constitutional reforms, we are talking about tinkering with the Constitution. We will be needing either Congress or the people to discuss this. And second, on socio-economic reforms, there might be some items there which would require immediate legislative action, and that would be Congress's role. In the interim, there are a lot of issues also that they should actively participate in. One of the items that will be discussed is the amnesty proclamation. Now, the amnesty proclamation that we are talking about here are two types. Now, the first one is that referring to an amnesty which covers those listed by the NDF, numbering about 434. Now, this amnesty, the draft of which we had already submitted to the President, the Office of the President, and it is awaiting the review. And once he signs it, then it will be sent to Congress because the Congress needs to concur. So second, on the general amnesty, which could happen in the final peace agreement, we will also be needing their participation because then again, Congress has to concur.
Ito pong na-mention nyo na concurrence of Congress. Possible or what challenges ang may hinaharap ba tayong challenges para makuha yung concurrence of Congress?
That is one thing that we do not have complete control over, kasi we are talking about representatives who are directly elected by the people. They would have to listen to their constituencies, and we hope, in fact, we are happy that they are here because we hope to get them involved as early as possible so that their constituents also would get involved, and then there would be no problem of us getting what we had committed to get to deliver. So that's one. And then second, of course, Congress is not gonna deal only with the amnesty issue. There are a lot of issues and legislative actions that are pending. So that, I'm not saying that it's one of the obstacles, but it's one of the givens. We cannot just tell them immediately, oh, you do this right now. But then what we can tell them is that we have a timeline.
And the timeline is?
The timeline is that we have committed to immediately recommend to the President.
So wala pa pong recommendation?
We already did.
Na.
There is already a draft proclamation, and then it's being reviewed by the Office of the President. And so when the President signs it, then it will be sent to Congress. As a matter of course.
Okay. Ma'am, when Jose Maria Sison, the Chief Political Consultant of the NDF, said that the general amnesty proclamation for the political prisoners should not be a contentious issue on the second round of talks, ano po ang tingin niyo dito or comment?
I think I will join him in that regard. It is not to be a contentious issue because we have already defined the issues to be discussed in the joint August 26 statement. And then these are those items that we have outlined are supposed to be the things that we will be discussing today, in the next few days. And the amnesty is a part of the issues to be discussed, but we are not here talking about the general amnesty. In fact, we are talking about the amnesty which we have committed to recommend to the President, and then the President will
Commitment na.
Yes.
And binimension rin po nila yung compliance with the Karil for the release of the political prisoners na na-filean daw. Kasi ito po sila ay na-filean ng contact charges.
In the June 2016 joint statement, there was a commitment on the part of the GRP team to recommend to the President the immediate release of political prisoners on humanitarian grounds. And on the part of the government has already jump-started it, no? Meaning, those things that are necessary to make the process work has already been made by the GRP panel. No? So we had prepared the guidelines, made the necessary amendments. This is different from the amnesty, no? We had already prepared the guidelines, and then the next stage would be looking at the individual cases and see which ones could be processed the soonest.
So ito pong paki-clarify lang ma'am, ang nagiging issue ba is the NDF is pushing for the general amnesty proclamation or insisting on it, and the GRP or the government is for the to have a bilateral ceasefire. Paano po natin yung i-reconcile?
No, I don't think that should be treated, no, altogether. Although those are the items to be discussed, no, because the bilateral ceasefire, based on the August 26, 2016 statements, with respect to that, we're supposed to discuss the draft. And we have until October 26 to do that. No? So whether it will be finalized today or on the 26th, and that will have to be discussed in the next few days. On the amnesty, in the joint statement, we said that the GRP will commit to immediately recommend. That we already did. No? So what can be done is to again push the office of the president to act on it, and then if the president signs it, then it will be sent to Congress. So I don't think it's just a matter of there. Allow me to say this, but there are things that we cannot have complete control over, but these things are being done anyway.
Okay, ma'am. With the opening na po mamaya ng sa second round of talks, ano po ang prospects niyo or ini-expect na mangyayari mamaya?
Well, from the part of the GRP, we are positive that the items that we have outlined will be discussed in the next few days. No, I'm not saying that this will be an easy stage, but then we are committed to negotiate and discuss all this.
Oh, last question, ma'am. Kanina po nakausap niyo or nag-brief kayo with the members of the House of Representatives. Ano po yung general feel ng lawmakers? Are they excited? Ano po are they hopeful for the peace process?
They also share our position that there is no better chance for us to do this but under this present administration. And they're going to support it. In fact, they're asking us what things they needed to do so that the entire process could to ensure the entire process a success. No. Second, they are even inviting us to go to the House and not just brief members of the Committee on Peace and Security, but to brief everyone, because the substantive items will actually entail the consent and cooperation of all members of Congress.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.